Everybody, welcome back to Alaskan Road Truckers. Today I'm giving you 10 tips and tricks and a bonus one at the end just for you, and the gameplay and stuff that I find will be handy when you first start playing this game. First thing we're going to cover is the different play modes that you get to choose from when you load into the game. The first one would be casual. You start in summertime and your hunger and energy deplete a lot slower. The second is going to be standard. It's a well-balanced gameplay. It's not too hard, not too easy. And I believe you start in spring on that one. And this game we just loaded into is actually legendary. You load in the beginning of winter. The loads are more difficult and you actually have less time to deliver them. Even though through my experience, I found that you still get plenty of time to deliver. So you really don't have to worry about that. The biggest challenge is dealing with the weather, which is another aspect in the legendary mode where weather is crazy. Right now we are lucky. This is actually a very nice day in legendary mode, even though there's quite a bit of snow on the ground. But, you know, get ready for snowstorms where you can barely see in front of your truck, and just it's crazy. So yeah, check it out. Those are your different modes and what you can expect. So the second tip I want to share with you guys is the additional mirrors that are in game. Yes, you have your truck mirrors, which will allow you to see behind you if you want to move your character's head as you're driving, or you know, trying to back up a trailer. But the other option is there is actually in-game mirrors, and if you hit the key once, it's these really cool like faded mirrors that really blend in really nice and they don't stick out. They're pretty cool to use. And the second option is a more hardline mirror that gives you more of a picture and is just more well defined. And that brings us to the next thing I'm going to talk about, and I just did a video. I'll leave the card up here for you, but that is do your own repairs if you can. Repairs, when you take it to a repair shop in game, cost, I mean, at least double what it would cost if you do the repairs on your own. So if you can do the repair on your own, take the time, do it, it'll save you some money. Plus it gives you quite a bit of XP, so that's always another perk. All right, and the next thing I'm going to talk about is the different foods you can find in game. All of your foods are going to be found at your gas stations that you can find around the map and grocery stores. If you look on the map, they're all labeled under shops, and you can kind of click on them all and see what they are. So yeah, gas stations and grocery stores are the main places you are going to find your different kinds of food. And when it comes to the different kinds of food, you have, you know, your snacks, which give very little nutrition. Then you've got your gas station hot dogs. And again, these are just one of, they've got many varieties when you go to the gas stations or grocery stores to pick up the food. You have MREs in game, which give you the same amount of nutrition as like your frozen foods. So they've got like meatloaf, and they've got some just other different types of frozen foods. They got different MREs too. Only difference is the MREs you don't have to microwave, whereas the frozen foods you do. And then at some places they have a meats fridge, which will give you, they've got salmon, they've got crab legs and so on. And those you have to cook in your headquarters in the oven. And that gives you 82% nutrition. Plus another added perk is you buy one thing. Like I bought one salmon fillet and I got 3 servings out of it. So it's well worth, if you can do the home cooked meal, do the home cooked meal. It's better for many reasons. Plus, if you actually, there is something in game that if you just eat junk food, hot dogs, chocolate bar, gas station, quick food, it can actually cause you to get an upset stomach in game, in which you have to get medicine for to correct that issue. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is your perks that you unlock. One of the first personal perks that I highly suggest unlocking is the chainsaw skill. When you go in and look at your trucker, and it's under the personality tab, the first one is the hands-on approach. This allows you to remove fallen trees. You'll find quite often you'll be driving down the road and all of a sudden there's going to be a fallen tree right in your way. Sometimes you get a warning, sometimes you don't. The advantage is that clearing a tree from the road gives you like 200 XP. The only other thing that you need is you have to have a chainsaw in your inventory in order for that to work. Also, I would continue going down the line as far as your traits and unlocking the hands-on approach, because every now and then you'll come across, it's either going to be a landslide or a avalanche that is going to block the road. If you come upon that and you don't have that unlocked, then you have to find another way around, and it is not easy, especially when that way around could be, you know, take you hours out of your way, even though it does take a couple in-game hours for it to clear up. And with the hands-on approach, you just use your CB radio up here in order to get that avalanche cleared out for you. But yeah, those are two perks I would definitely get as soon as you can. Unlock those guys, especially the chainsaw one, because you'll come across a lot more fallen trees than you will avalanches. So the next tip I have for you is you're going to find out you have a lot more day than you actually have energy in game in most instances. So if you stop at grocery stores or gas stations, they have coffee machines, and when you check the coffee machines out, they give you nutrition as well as energy. Different coffees will give you different energy. If you want to go a different route, and you can also go to the drinks fridge and you can get energy drinks. So those are your options to kind of boost your energy if you find yourself getting low in game and you still have quite a ways to go to drop your load off. Another thing to consider when choosing between either coffee or your energy drink is the coffee spoils pretty quick in 6 hours. Whereas the energy drink, at least you get 10 days. So that's kind of something else to keep in mind. You can keep energy drinks on hand just in case. Coffee, you pretty much need to make sure you consume that really quick. All right, and my next tip has to do with job delivery. So as you see, when you pull up, there are 3 flashing yellow areas. All right, so if you look, you have this giant area that you can park any way you want. As long as you got the trailer inside of there, you'll get credit for the delivery. And if you look around, there are 2 other parking areas. There is this one over here, which you just pull straight in. You can tell that just because of the way it's flowing. And then you've got the smaller square up front. That means that's where the cab of your truck is going to go. And if you look over here, you see the front is facing the opposite direction. That means this is one where you have to back in. So the bonuses go for the big free parking area. You don't get any additional bonus. When you pull straight in, you get a $250 bonus. And when you back in, you get a $600 bonus. So depending on how brave you are and if you're good at backing up a trailer, hey, back it in, get that extra money, because it never hurts to have a little extra cash in this game. All right, so the next thing is get out of your truck, walk around, go check out the sites. There's all kinds of cool little towns you can check out and just see what all they've put into the game. I mean, it's really cool, the attention to detail they've done on some stuff. And an added bonus is you have these little points of interest scattered all over your map. So if you look around, all of the little blue areas, these are points of interest, and they go far south, far north, including over the ice roads. So yeah, get out of your truck, check the points of interest out, learn a few things about Alaska. It's really cool. And you get XP by taking a picture within your zone. I've covered this before in a previous video. Just make sure your boxes are green. If they're red, you're not going to get credit. So once you're green, you're good to take the picture. Take the picture. 150 XP just for sightseeing. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. And you just got to be inside the yellow circle as well. So yeah, get out, do some exploring, check Alaska out. It's beautiful out here. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is it's stuff about the ice roads. And as you can see, we are in summertime. That doesn't mean the ice roads are completely closed to us. You can actually get a ferry that will take you to the different locations. You just have to get on the right ferry to whatever location you're looking at. There's Polar Drill. There's Avalanche Zone. And then you've got what, Outpost 31. So those are your 3 areas up here. So there's your Polar Drill, Avalanche Zone, and here's Outpost 31. And then over here would be a ferry to take you out to ice pick mining. Now I will tell you, this road is challenging to drive. So if you're looking for a challenge, take a job over here. Now the only downside is, if you'll notice, the jobs out to these places really don't pay a lot. Like to Outpost 31, $1,800. And then to Polar Drill, I mean, that's $2,500. But the cost of the ferry, let's choose Polar Drill because that one paid the most. At least it was $2,500. And just like going to the shop, you use your horn, and it's $2,500 just for the ferry itself. So that's just on the way over there. You would have to pay another $2,500 to come back, unless you just have the extra money and you want to do exploring. Highly suggest waiting until winter time to do the ice roads, in which point we'll actually go to winter time right now and show you a few things. All right, so now that we're winter time, you will notice if you pull up to a ferry, ferry service is unavailable, but the lake is frozen over. So what you're going to do is you're going to drive past the ferries here, down to the end of this little driveway, or parking lot, I should say. And you've got your little flag markers right here, and this is where you would actually enter the ice roads if you had a load and you're going across. There are signs along the way to show you which way to go, and of course it'll be on your mini map if you have that up and running. So yeah, maybe we'll do another video just on the ice roads and what to expect. To conclude, I would highly suggest waiting until winter time before you attempt to do the ice roads. It's not worth it if you try to do it and use the ferries. You spend more money on the ferries than what you actually make for the jobs. All right, my next tip that has to do with just its general wintertime driving is use your chains and also your radiator cover. Your chains will give you grip because it does matter. That is one thing I do like about the game. Weather matters when it comes to driving. Rain makes it slicker. Snow makes it crazy slick. So use your chains in the wintertime and also your radiator cover. It will help keep your truck warm. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see our radiator heat level, and it's actually pretty low. And since we are 14 below zero, probably want to use that. But I kind of want to show you driving without the chains first. So we're starting off in 6th gear. And you can see, like, I am not turning the wheel. That's just kind of what happens. So that's no chains. Oh, and we messed up headlight. So let's go ahead and put the chains and the radiator cover on. Very easy to do. You start off with them in the beginning of the game. They're both right in your toolbox right here on the driver's side of your cab. So for the chains, just put them both in your inventory. So I've got the tire chains and the radiator cover. We're going to go to the back tire here where it says chains. Hit your interact button. Go ahead and put your chains on there. You'll see the cool little animation. And you can come up to the front here where the grill is, and you can install the radiator cover. And there you go. So those are 2 winter things that you want to do to your truck for sure. And that will ensure, number one, traction. Because, yeah, you definitely want traction in this game. We'll do another... Here, I'll just do some driving around. I mean, like, I can do circles and not slide. So the chains make a difference. I mean, it's night and day as far as your chains go. And then you can also see in the bottom right where your speedometer is you now have an icon for that you put your chains on. And then to the left of that, you can see the icon for your radiator cover being on. So yeah, make sure you use that stuff. They are super handy. And also while we're down here, we're going to move into bonus tip number 1. I actually have 2 different bonus tips for you. So this one is really cool. Down here where your ferries are, you'll notice this tiny little shack right here. Don't ignore it. So if you walk up to it, and this is too cool, this is year round, open it up and you have free sandwiches and free coffee. That's right. I mean, it's quite a drive out of the way to do it any other time than when you're up here. But while you're up here, take advantage. Free coffee, free sandwiches. You can't beat that. My final bonus tip is up here where you accept your jobs for the ice roads. If you continue on and you go straight back, you'll see this little shack back here that doesn't look like it would have anything of importance in it, but it does have one of the most valuable items in the game. So as you might know, in some shops and some gas stations, there are clothing racks. The clothing racks have different items of clothing or different jackets. This one has the thermo jacket. Yes, it's expensive. It's $300. However, with this jacket equipped, no matter what the temperature is outside, you will not get cold. And you can freeze to death in this game. So there are a couple other gas stations and places in town where this jacket is available. I don't know where they are off the top of my head. I just know for a fact they're up at the ice road. So yeah, if you happen to find them and you know where they're at, leave them down in the comments below. Let me know, because I'm kind of curious too. This is the only place I look because I know they're here. And usually when I'm doing deep winter jobs, I'm up here at the ice roads anyway. So I always grab a couple while I'm here. I have one on me and I'll put a spare in my truck for when the durability wears down on this jacket. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this set of tips and tricks for you. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. If there's anything else that you would like to know or have me explain, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to check it out and see what we can do. But that is going to do it for tonight. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, until next time, bye for now.